Welcome back to the UK.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
You must have been coming here as a famous person, mid-70s onwards?
I don't
maybe
know.
Before that?
I don't know. Am I famous?
Yeah.
I don't think of myself.
Seriously famous.
I don't think of myself as famous.
Okay.
I'm always actually really surprised when somebody recognizes me. And I mean, I'm being perfectly honest with you. I don't think of my headspace doesn't work that way. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy doing the shows. I enjoy my film roles. I enjoy acting. I've just done I just did a film with Jennifer Jason Leigh. I just did one with Beverly D'Angelo. I just did a television show called Fairly Legal. I did another movie called Snitch, which people are asking me, what's Snitch about? And I'm going, I don't remember. I think I played an undercover marshal. And we recorded the record. We toured. I just keep working. I just think of myself as a guy that works. And when people see me and they go, "Hey, Meat, how you doing?" I go, "Hi. You know who I am?" Yeah, I'm always in shock.
Well, it's nice to know you're still humble.
Oh, yeah. My mama told me never brag. You know, it's not. It's like, you know, you don't say, "Gee, boy, I scored 3 goals." You know, it's about how'd the team do. It's not about individual. It's about how the team do.
You've come such a long way from being born in Dallas and raised in Dallas, and then you eventually got hold of a car and you went to Los Angeles. Rocky Horror Show started it off for you.
Yeah, I mean, people. I'm going to go. I'm going to jump on you just a hair. The new album's called Hell in a Handbasket, based on what I've been saying for the last 7 years.
Which is?
The world's gone to hell in a handbasket. Now, that was first used, Hell in a Handbasket, by a general in the United States Civil War, as he told the troops we're going to hell in a handbasket, meaning he was heading for disaster. But the phrase actually came from 17th century UK, which not many people know, which is based on heaven in a wheelbarrow, which was an insult, and which meant if I said to you, I say to you, heaven in a wheelbarrow, it means go to hell.
Right. We learned something new already.
There you go.
Just a little bit into, well, we would say, to anglicise it, hell in a handcart.
Same difference.
We're splitting hairs.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
You know, it's like, you say potato and I say potato.
Exactly. But
okay, so anyway, I forgot where I was going.
Well, don't worry. I mean, I'll just flow the questions at you, and we'll have a chilled out, nice time. Hell in a Handbasket. Great,
I know where I was going.
Great title for an album. Why not call it? Hang on a sec. Why not call it Bat Out of Hell 4?
Oh, because that's
you're a brand. That's a brand within your brand.
No. But Hell in a Handbasket, no, it's a different thing altogether. Because Hell in a Handbasket is about humanity. It's about the truth. It's about humanity, and it's about we've lost our humanity and our compassion. And the whole record is not, all the other records, Bat Out of Hells, have been through characters' eyes. They've been through the eyes of different characters. And this is the first record that I sang. That's through Meatloaf.
Which is why you say it's perhaps the most personal record you've ever done.
And it has absolutely nothing to do with Bat Out of Hell. Just because it's got hell in the title doesn't... I mean, some guy on Facebook wrote, "Oh, God, you got hell in the title. Come on, Meat, get real. How come what do you got to do, say hell in the title?" No, because I have fought tooth and nail with record company time after time after time, because they wanted hell in the title because it's an easy marketing. In fact, I once threw a lamp, not at the person, but at the wall, and they said, "Okay, we won't call it that." They tried to get me to call Hank Cold Teddy Bear Bat Out of Hell 4. I said it has nothing to do with that.
No.
And so the world's gone to hell in a handbasket. That's why there's no bat on the cover. That's why there's a world on the cover. And the world looks like a globe, but when you look close, it's all skulls, because we're heading for disaster. Because with the advent of the internet and all these comments and all the hate that comes through that internet, I mean, you can hide behind, ooh, gosh, golly gee, and write the worst things in the world. And what happens is there's so much of that stirred up on the internet, it goes out on the street. And we've lost our humanity. And Hell in a Handbasket, that's what it's about. It's about getting back to the truth, getting back to the humanity and the compassion. And stop everybody putting your hand out and wanting something for nothing. Get out there and earn it, dude. Earn it.
We're going to play quite a few tracks from the album during this conversation that we're going to have.
I'm a little passionate about the record.
That's fine. I'm passionate about letting the listeners hear this, all of me, the first track from the album, which is, I think, a monumental start to this album. So we'll have a listen to it and get your thoughts on it next.
Please do.
Meet, All of Me, track number 1 from Hell in a Handbasket. That is a powerful opening to an album. That you're sending out a message there.
Yeah, I am. And also what we did with this record was recorded because I didn't want to wait. And we recorded it on tour buses, in hotel rooms. We got complaints at 2 o'clock in the morning in Newcastle because we were doing background vocals on the tour in 2010. So I recorded vocals in closets, literally in closets. We put some quilts up, and I recorded a vocal in a closet. We recorded in a kitchen. We were doing it wherever we could do it, and it is. And somebody said to me, "Boy, that record sounds really expensive." I said, "It's so cheap, it's unbelievable." And the reason it sounds expensive is because I have the greatest band in the world. And if anybody out there listening wants to argue with me, they're more than willing to come and try, because I took debating in high school and I never lost. So if you want to argue with somebody, you don't want to argue with me.
How did you get Chuck D involved in the album from Public Enemy?
Because we were sitting and I was doing Mad Mad World, and we were going to mash it with the Johnny Cash's song, God's Gonna Cut You Down. And they were working on the key to God's Gonna Cut You Down. And I'm sitting here going, emotionally and dramatically, I shouldn't sing God's Gonna Cut You Down. So I said, well, maybe Patty, the girl that sings with me, she should sing
Patty
it.
Russo.
Patty Russo.
Yeah.
And I went, no. And I'm sitting there and I go, we need I need a rapper. And they turned around and said, well, who do you know? And I said, well, I know LL, and I know Ice Cube, and I know Ice-T. I haven't talked to LL in about 12 years, so his number's probably not any good. I don't know where Ice Cube's card is. He gave it to me, but I don't know where it is. And Ice-T, I only just talked to him, and we never exchanged numbers. And Paul Crook, my guitar player who was producing the record, turned around to me and said, well, the guy you want's Chuck D. And I said, great, how do I get him? He goes, well, your son-in-law is one of his best friends. I said, really? I said, Scott Ian plays with Anthrax. And so he goes, yeah. So I picked up the phone. I said, Scott, I need Chuck D on the record. Scott went, okay. So he goes, I'm going to send an email to both of you. And it said, Chuck, meet Chuck. Ha! And we sent emails back and forth, and Chuck sent his number. I talked to him on the phone, and I said to him, I'm going to send you what we've cut for God's Gonna Cut You Down. He goes, okay. And about 5 days later, I get back. I'm thinking I'm getting God's Gonna Cut You Down. I get back, good God's a woman and she don't like ugly. And I went, the guy is in my brain. Because what I had done after meeting Little John, and I combined rock with country with hip hop, and nobody's ever done that on Stan, a song called Stand in the Storm. And after meeting Little John and really getting to know him really well, I study. I mean, I really like to study. I like to. So I went out and I bought Kanye West. I bought Jay-Z. I bought Public Enemy. I bought 50 Cent. I bought Snoop Dogg. I bought some other hip hop, and I really wanted to understand the artistry involved, because it was never my cup of tea. I'm never going to put it down. I'm never going to say anything bad about it.
Did you grow to like it?
I did, actually. I really got into the artistry of it. It's like, I'm not a particular fan of Picasso, but I understand why people do like it. And I'm not one of those people that would say, and people like back in the 70s, oh, I hate disco. And I would argue with them going, don't say that, because there's a lot of people that really like it. And these artists spend a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of effort doing this. And for you to just all of a sudden say you hate it is a horrible thing to say. It would be like going to the museum and because you don't like Picasso, taking a knife to him. That's wrong. And so I would never do that to anybody. And I started to understand it. And I found out that Chuck D is the godfather, is the rapper's rapper, and everybody looks up to him. And so to have Chuck D on Mad Mad World was unbelievable. And he read my mind. Now, whether you can understand his poetry or not, I don't know. But I did. And it sent my hairs. You know how your hair will stand up on your arm sometimes?
Sure.
I mean, I heard that for the first time and just my mouth hung open and my hairs were standing up, and I'm just going, this is unbelievable.
Let's have a listen to it.
Oh, yeah. Go for it, dude.
Hell in a Handbasket, Meat Loaf's new album. I'm delighted to say he's here with me. When we were talking just a little bit earlier, referring back to, I don't like to keep bringing it up, and this is the last time, I promise you I'll do it.
I know, you
Bat
bring
Out
it
of
up
Hell
all you
1,
want.
2, 3, whatever. I always got the impression that was kind of a performance, particularly when you were doing it live. You felt it really wasn't you. And this album, you've said already in the interview, you're really proud of it. You've got a message. There is anger in this album. There is a vulnerability in this album as well.
Oh, there definitely is. Yeah, I mean, we talk about and it's a lot of metaphors. I didn't want to. I bought Midnight Oil albums, Australian band, but they would hit you over the head politically over the head with a hammer. And U2 with a metal hammer. U2 hits you over the head every once in a while with a rubber hammer. Mad Mad World, I hit you over the head with a sledgehammer. But the rest of it, like Giving Tree, is metaphor. I don't really. It's about, let's get back to where we were. California Dreaming. People keep going, why'd you cover California Dreaming? I'm going, because everybody has misunderstood the message of California Dreaming since the 60s.
What is it? What is the message?
The message of California Dreaming is fear. It's not about wanting to go to California and sit on the beach in your bikini or your thing and under the umbrella. It's about following your dream, but being afraid, fear holding you back, keeping you back from following your dream. And yes, Hell in a Handbasket may be the most passionate album because it is so much me. I have a lot of passion for this record. More, I love the last record, Hang Cool Teddy Bear, but it was seen through the eyes of a character named Patrick, who was a soldier, and it was a screenplay, and it was an acting exercise, and I loved that. Bat Out of Hell, I took on a character. And critics, the music industry have, first of all, having the name Meat Loaf, they think, I made that up, and I didn't. My dad did. And if I had called myself Meat Loaf, I'd have been in an asylum by now. And so I've been an easy target. But and I also said, I am a character. I'm playing a character. And I look back on Bat Out of Hell, I stayed in that character for interviews.
Yeah, but not on this record.
Not on this one.
This is you.
This is me. And this is I believe this is the most passionate record I've ever made.
Let's just move away from the album a minute. I'm sorry to bring this up, but you're 65 years old in September. 64.
Oh, right, in September.
Yeah, 65.
Oh, you said September.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? Are you going to celebrate?
Oh, I hate birthdays.
Did you ever think you'd make 65?
I don't like. Homie don't play Valentine's. Homie does not play Valentine's. It's a Hallmark made-up holiday. I do like Bastille Day quite a bit, though. I celebrate Bastille Day.
Why on earth do you celebrate that?
Because I went out in high school with a girl who was of French origin, and she loves celebrating Bastille Day. So since then, I've always done it.
Okay, fair enough.
And then when I was doing Rocky Horror Show, I was dating a girl that only spoke French, and it was quite interesting. She spoke French, I spoke English, and we got along great in certain positions.
Yeah, but it didn't last long because you didn't have the dictionary, the English-French
No,
dictionary.
I lasted plenty long enough,
Did you?
dude. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not talking about the positions. I'm talking about the length of the relationship. But anyway.
Yeah.
So no celebration for your 65th birthday. It's a milestone in most people's lives.
Somebody once threw me a surprise party, right? And I walked in the door, and everybody else surprised. I turned around, walked out, and went to the movies.
Did you? You
Yep.
don't like birthdays. I believe you now.
Yeah, I don't like birthdays.
Television, movies, I without blowing smoke, you know where. I think you're terrific in films. Fight Club, I thought you were great in that. You've done TV shows, countless movies.
I've done
You've done it.
Shakespeare. I even got good reviews for Shakespeare, which was like, and I auditioned for As You Like It, and the director looked at me and said, "That could be possibly the worst reading of Shakespeare I've ever heard in my life." And they hired me anyway. And then I got rave reviews for it because they called me. They said Mr. Loaf was a real person on stage. And that I was.
And you enjoyed the process of acting, do you?
Oh, yeah, I study it all the time. I audit classes. I go to coaches. I never want to stop learning anything. The object of life is to wake up every morning and learn something new and try to be a better person today than you were yesterday, and to be kind and be considerate and say thank you when somebody gives you something. When somebody opens the door, you say please, you say thank you, you have manners. You just try to be a really good human being.
I think it's a great principle, or set of principles to have in life between you and me.
And being a prima donna, and a lot of these celebrities are prima donnas. You know what? I got a broomstick I can stick somewhere.
Between you and me,
Yeah.
tell me a couple of movies you turned down that maybe became bigger movies.
Oh, I can't. I wouldn't dare.
Why?
Because I just won't do it. But I can tell you this: I got offered $750,000.
So it's happened.
Oh yeah, I got
Yeah.
offered $750,000 to do a film, and I turned it down. And people said I was crazy. I can tell you, Mel Gibson was in it,
Wow.
but that's as far as
It's
I'm
all
going.
happening, baby, isn't it? Huh?
But I don't. I've never done anything for the money. I don't believe in that. I really don't, because you can get yourself doing things for money and you're miserable. And what's the point in being miserable? You do it for the love of it, or you don't do it.
Celebrity Apprentice in America, which was about just under a year ago.
Lord, yeah.
You lost it big time with Gary Busey, another
I slept
American
for about
actor.
2.5 hours. Okay, let me explain.
He
this.
stole your art utensils, didn't he?
He did.
And you just lost it.
Well, yes, but the way they cut it. See, they edited it a certain way. Well, first of all, let me explain to you. They'd asked me to do Dancing with the Stars. They've asked me to do, over here, Celebrity Big Brother. They've asked me to do Help, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. All these reality shows. I've gone, no, you're out of your mind. I don't do that. I'm on this movie set in South Carolina. The phone rings. And it's a friend of mine who's a producer. And he produces a show among called Who Do You Think You Are, which traces your ancestry, which I really want to do. And if it gets picked up, I'm going to do it, which is not really a reality show. It's an interesting educational show. And so he called me. He's in charge of Celebrity Apprentice. And I pick up I never answer my phone. I just don't answer my cell phone. And for some reason, I picked it up. And he goes, Meet, it's Chuck. Listen, they're asking about, and I already turned them down 3 years in a row. They're asking about Celebrity Apprentice. And I went, oh, okay, well, call me back. We'll talk about it. And he took the okay to mean, okay, I'll do it. And what I was saying was, look, okay, I understand you, but call me back. And I'm going to turn it down. So I didn't hear anything back. And Patty, we were in rehearsal for tour, and Patty came in and said, you doing Celebrity Apprentice? I went, no, I'm not doing Celebrity Apprentice. What are you, crazy? She goes, well, you're in the paper. I said, nah, they're just wrong. About 2 weeks later, the drummer comes in and goes, Meet, it's in the paper again, and they've got you listed with some other people doing Celebrity Apprentice. I went, oh, God, okay. So I get on the phone, and I call my manager. I go, they got me listed as doing Celebrity Apprentice. Can you please tell them to stop that? And he goes, well, you said you'd do it. I said, I didn't say I'd do Celebrity Apprentice. They went, well, yeah, Chuck said you said okay. And I'm sitting there, I'm going, I did? I went, no, I meant, okay, call me back so I can turn it down. And he goes, well, they used your name to get all these other people attached. I said, can I get out of it? And they went, no. So I went, okay. So I went in. I didn't go in to play. I wasn't in playing the game. I said, I've watched it before, and I thought, well, these people are really lame when it comes to doing commercials or anything creative. And I said, I'll go in and I'll be creative. And that's the only thing I'm interested in doing. And I wasn't playing the game. And the way they cut it, from the first hour of we were all together, we were trying to figure out how to get rid of Gary Busey. But they never showed it. They cut around it all. And because I've done 2 films with Gary. So I know Gary. I'm friends with Gary. I don't dislike Gary. And John Rich and myself on there, they called us the Gary Whisperers because we were able to control him. And the first time that he became in charge of a project, John Rich and myself said, we better take this over because we don't want to lose because one of us is going to go. So we won. And Gary got the glory of it. And then we did on Thursday nights, they would do the board meeting, and then they would give you your project for Friday. And you would be there fairly late. Well, this particular night, Donald Trump was very late getting to the boardroom. We didn't get to the boardroom about 10 o'clock at night. So time you finished about 11:30. By 12 o'clock, they were giving us our next assignment. Well, Gary wanted to go home. So all of a sudden, he's in a fight with Star Jones. Star Jones goes, get your boy out of here. And so I go over there, and this thing, I see Little John grab Gary, and he's got him, I'm going to knock you out. I'm going, whoa. And so then he's in a fight with Mark McGrath. So I said to John, we got to send Gary home. So then the next thing I see him in a fight with Richard Hatch. And it's like going, oh, my God. So finally we get Gary home. We didn't get back to the hotel about 3 o'clock in the morning. Our call time was 7. I slept about 2.5 hours. Gary then didn't want to go with us. Gary, you got to go with us. And it just kept going on and on and on and on. And I said to my wife, I said, I'm going to kill him. And my wife says, don't you dare lose your temper. Don't you dare. And then I'm walking down the street with Mark McGrath. I said, oh, man. And Mark McGrath is going, Meet, just be calm. Just be calm. And then we're in the truck, and Little John's getting mad at me. I said, Little John, just be calm. It's all fine. It's all good. It's all good. And I walk in, and Gary has my paints. And the way they edited it, and everybody in the world thinks that I'm the one who went crazy and that he didn't take them. But that's not what happened. And they edited it as if I screamed continuously at him. and that's not. It was in little pieces.
Yeah.
And I said to him, "You took my paints." He goes, "No, I didn't." And so John Rich started looking for my paints. John goes, "Here they are." And so I go, "No, those aren't mine. Those are Gary's." And I picked the spray can up, and you see that later on. And I throw it to Gary, and I go, "Gary, here's your paints." And he catches it, and he goes, "Oh, thank you." And when he said thank you, that really pissed me off because it was the first time he said it. And then I took off.
Yeah, you did. And
it was like kindergarten.
Yeah.
You took my paints. That's not what I wanted to say, but that's all that could come out.
I want to talk to you here at Absolute Classic Rock. We obviously play rock music from all over the world, but we play a hell of a lot of British rock music because we're kind of proud of it. And one of our finest rock bands, the Rolling Stones, 50th anniversary this year. Wow,
yeah.
First and foremost. How influential do you think the Rolling Stones have been?
Okay, well, the Rolling Stones was the first album I ever bought.
Which one?
12x4.
Yeah.
And if you wanted me to have to pick a Rolling Stone song,
yeah, well, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you. You can pick as many as you want, but pick one, your favorite.
Let It Bleed.
Let It Bleed.
Mm-hmm. We all need someone we can lean on. So I hope you can lean on me.
What is it about them?
Oh, well, they were better than the Beatles.
Well, I think, like, for acting, you're either Robert De Niro or Al Pacino, or for music, you're Beatles or Rolling Stones.
Yeah, well, I'm with you. I love the Beatles now. The Beatles now.
They're fantastic, but the Stones had something.
But when they first came out, I Want to Hold Your Hand, I wanted to throw up. You know, I want to hold your hand.
But when you heard Little Red Rooster, it was different.
Yeah. Or I'm a king bee, baby. I'm buzzing around your hive. All of that stuff was unbelievable. And then the second album I bought was Bob Dylan. And my mother hated both of them. My mother was a singer. She loved Mahalia Jackson and Glenn Miller and all the Oklahoma and Carousel and all that. And she never did get the Stones, but she did get Dylan. She goes, she had that southern accent. I understand why you like this Dylan fella, because he can write a lyric, but he can't sing a note, you know. So and she's right.
He's done well. Some people call him a remedial mumbler.
Yeah, and
I think that's probably a bit disrespectful, but
those are the first two records.
Is it true you're planning maybe a Christmas album for Hot Holidays?
Yeah,
for this year.
Yeah,
you're going to do it.
I don't know.
You might do.
I have two other records. I have all the songs for them ready to go. We're ready to record.
But this one, Hell in a Handbasket, is the one that presumably, fingers crossed, you're going to tour with.
Oh, we're going to tour in the summer in the States with it, and then I don't know what we're going to do after that.
Sort of back end of the year, maybe beginning of next year.
Yeah,
if
maybe.
If we're lucky. And just to go back to the theme of the album and what you said, Meat, about, you know, in your view, the world's in a hell of a mess, and you spoke about the internet and the sort of bile that comes out and how it spills onto the streets.
It does.
How, in your opinion, can we change the world again? Because presumably before the internet, people thought it, and they didn't have the means of putting it out there.
They thought it. You would think it, but you would go, "Oh, I really don't like that," or "I hate that," and then it would slide away, and it wouldn't fester. It's like it becomes like before it was an infection. Now it becomes like a wound that won't heal. It has become an infection, and no antibiotic, no cream can solve it. Governments don't tell you the truth. There's truth has gone out the window. They're either, people used to try to, well, not in the 14th century or the 15th century. That's a different thing. We're kind of heading back that direction. But there was a period in the 50s and 60s and 70s where people would work together. And now there's extreme right, extreme left, and you have the extremist on either side. and nobody wants to ever meet in the middle and try to have a serious discussion about anything. There's no compromise. And how do we get out of it? We get out of it by people standing up and saying, I'm mad, like that movie Network, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I mean, that's basically what it takes. But you need a reason. You can't be like, over in America, they have the Occupy movement. But they have no basis. There's no, just a bunch of people out in the street throwing chairs. You know, what do you want? What do you want to accomplish? I don't know, but I want to throw this chair. Okay, but let's figure out what you want to accomplish.
Gene Simmons came in a couple of months ago.
I can't even imagine.
Sat down with me just like you are, and he's obviously very politically aware and loves to talk about politics, and we did speak about President Obama, and he said the principal problem he thought with the world was, as far as economics go, is that countries are run by politicians and they should be run by businessmen. And he said Donald Trump should run America, Richard Branson should run Britain, and things would be a lot better. It's kind of simplistic, but I know what he's saying.
Okay, I like Donald. I'm not sure that Donald Trump should run America. I may disagree with Gene, and I'm not. I don't know Richard Branson that well. He's fairly smart. I've been around him a little bit. I've been around Donald a lot now. Whether they should run a country, I don't know. But I do believe that people like that should be involved with in some position inside a government so that people actually understand what's going on. Because you can't just have professional politicians, because they've always got somebody in their pocket. They got a George Soros, or they got somebody that wants to. The lobbyists are always in somebody's pocket, and you have problems with unions, and it's not that I'm anti-union, but I am anti-ripping off everyone else.
Mate, it's been a great pleasure to talk to you, and I hope people listen to the album and hear what you've got to say.
Well, I do too, and it's not all fire, hell, and brimstone.
No, it's great.
It's really a good record. It's got a lot of passion, and I believe in Hollywood endings. So there's always the happy ending and the message at the end. I've got the hero shot riding up the hill on the horse, taking his hat off, saying, "Thank you, appreciate it."
Thanks a lot, mate.
Okay.